What's good? What's good, family? Let's get it in there, man.
I drop it in a pot and watch it bubble touch. I drop it in a pot and watch it. I watch it. I drop it in a pot and watch it double touch. Drop it in the Rican press machine and lock it up. Then I pop up all the beats, so pop it up. Pop shot in this nigga tryna pop it up. The police on the spot, they tryna pop it up. Like who the fuck is us? Like who the fuck is us? We drop it in a pot and watch it bubble up. Got the black on jump that bitch on double dutch. I walk up in the kids at my bitch fix the pass. I mix that shit so much coffee, so mix a lot. Look up at my wrist, I swear that bitch and drop. 40 with that dick and that bitch sticking out. Drug dealing ass nigga, my outfit sticking out. I just paid 4,000 cause I won't look like y'all. We ain't got no picks and shoes, it's picking one. Anyone 3,000 mil was picking more. This shit I talk about, didn't hear it in my tone. Givenchy, Valentino, all this shit I bought. Rock all on my shirt, the clothes will fish you off. This dog just got the call, it's one my head to go. Fuck. Niggas in the room, but like you still at home. I beat that bounce so fast like he ain't win at all. I told him this a loss, man, he can't win them all. That's the thing, cause we gon' win them all. Fuck. Driving in the Rican press machine and lock it up.
That was my homie verse right there. Now I'm about to start rapping right now. This about to be me rapping right here.
Like who the fuck is us? Like who the fuck is us? We drop it in the pot and watch it bubble up. Got the block on jump that bitch on double dutch. Hands Xing in on me, who the fuck is us? Trapping is my cover, nigga, out of me, my bed. When he come to dirty needles, out of suit of thread. Yeah, I don't love no alphabets. DEHTFBI, y'all can suck my dick up. White father like Ghost. Woo! Brown father like Frank Lucas. I'm thug life like Tupac. I'm black power like Huey Newton. I'm going all of that bomb on it. Afghan and that OG. Running you a half a block. Nigga, now you OBC. Take the Rica press machine and rock it up. Boy and girl, Christmas earners just until the stocking up. Every time we hit the block, niggas shit be popping up. Every time we hit the scene, niggas body popping along. Drop it in the Rican press machine and lock it up. When I pop up all the fees, so pop it up.
Hit that like, hit that share, hit that subscribe. It's going down. Woo!
Like who the fuck is us? We drop it in a pot and watch it double up. Got the black on jump that bitch on double dutch. Hands Xing in on me, who the fuck is us? Trapping in the mood, just trying not to scuff her now.
Get your vaccination letter. Get your vaccination letters.
So now these bitches trying to fuck with us. Outfits and a birdie on it. Got a clean pencil with a curry on it. Color cuff gels and a curry on it. Gucci t-shirt, I put a curry on it. And this neck on it, prefer for Cuban link. Piece so heavy, I pop a chain.
Sex with a Draco.
That's what I'm screaming. She coming out. Burn up goggles on my feet. I'm from the
Sex with a Draco. Sex with a Draco.
And you looking like a steak dinner. Tell these niggas that it's gon' be a lit winner, born winner. But I grew up nothing next to nothing, so it's nothing for these youngin' to stop something. Pyrex. Drop it in the Rican press machine and lock it up. Then I pop up all the feet, so pop it up. Pop shot in this nigga tryna pop it up. Police on the spot, they tryna pop it up. Like who the fuck is us? Like who the fuck is us? We drop it in a pot and watch it double up. Got the black on jump that bitch on double dutch. Hands Xing in on me, who the fuck is us?
Ooh, woo, yeah. What's going on, gang, Gang. If you haven't gone, check out that Dr. Umar Rainbow Booty Boy video. Like, share, subscribe, tag that Rainbow Booty Boy in it. We ain't riding with the Rainbow Booty Boy gang. Y'all can taste the rainbow somewhere else. Y'all can taste the rainbow somewhere else. We ain't riding with the Rainbow Booty Boy gang on my channel. I don't know about the other channel. I don't care about the other channel. All I know is over here and the Magic and Sorcery going over here on my channel, we don't ride with the Rainbow Booty Boy gang. Understand me? We don't ride with the Rainbow Booty Boy gang. Yeah. Bah, bah, bah. What's going on? How y'all doing? Infinite love, eternal truth, and peace way to you. I come to you in the name of the Creator, Goddess, through the precious elements of the fire, air, water, ether. Yes. Today is another wonderful day. Today is another beautiful day. May the great grand holy Mother Earth, great grand holy Mother Universe, may the great grand holy Mother Nature bless you and all that you take liking to. Bless you and all that you take liking to. Don't forget to cop your miracle food. Don't forget to cop your miracle food. The fucking Jesus in a bottle. What else I forget? Oh. Don't forget to get you some incense. Y'all already see the incense lit. I don't know if you can see them lit. I lit them earlier. But it's important that y'all stay prayed up with y'all COVID-19 vaccination exemption letters. As a matter of fact, someone who has experienced the COVID-19 and used the COVID-19 vaccination exemption letter is with us today. She has a podcast, right? And I got wind of her through me going out there and trying to promote myself and promote my brand. And I'm trying to promote my brand and connect with as many, people who got podcasts, but it's specifically Black people, Black men, Black women. I don't know if you guys know this or not, but everybody who I have a major sponsorship with, everybody who I sponsor, and I sponsor 6 people, all of them are African American people, and this has been going on quite some time. I've been able to do business with people of my color, people of my diaspora, and a lot of the people who I'm doing interviews with are multicultural, Black, white, Hispanic, and Asian. But it's always good to see Black women, Black men who are getting their shit together, talking about the issues that matter, talking about the things that mean something in life, and not just, hey, look at me, 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 look at me. I got a selfie, all right? So, that's what I've always been about. And so, on my channel, we do it live. We don't listen. I love my subscribers. You know why? Because y'all got motherfucking brains. Y'all got brawn. Y'all got all kind of stuff going on. Y'all ask the challenging questions. Y'all be challenging the status quo. I be like, God damn, where they found y'all at, right? And so, everybody know that my channel is a no-holds-barred freedom of speech world. Whatever you say, that's what you say. That's what it is, and it shall be respected. And I'm not gonna say it ain't gonna get challenged, but it shall be respected, and your opinion and your view shall be respected, because everybody has their right to their freedom of expression through speech. And so y'all already know I'm all about them conspiracy theories. I'm all about the frats and the sororities and all of the, I'm all about all of the stuff that people be afraid to talk about. So let's see how much of that Miss Dehjah Vaughn from the podcast of In Her Sense, let's see how much of that she is going to be down to open up and openly discuss with us. And we're going to just talk about we're going to talk about everything. It's not a structured system that I'm going on. We're just going to have a wonderful chat, as Black people should get together, have us a wonderful chat, and gain something positive from the exchange. So without any further ado, please welcome to the show, Miss Dehjah Vaughn from In Her Sense podcast. What it do, what it do, what it do. I wish I had the little thing to go, like
yeah.
All right.
Great.
What's going on? What's going on? What's up?
Nothing
What's
much.
going
I'm
on?
so happy to be here.
Okay,
It's
so
so
happy to be
cool.
here. And tell us, just give us a little introduction of yourself
Mhm.
before we get into it.
Okay, so I'm Dehjah Vaughn. I have a podcast called In Her Sense. It's promoting Black consciousness with the motive to shift the narrative of our brothers and sisters across the diaspora. So just tapping in with our inner knowing, dismantling things that we need to do in order to continue to elevate. So that's my little tidbit about my podcast. I met Chakra and we had a wonderful exchange. I was able to tap into my 7 chakras online through the podcast, and that was dope because I've never done that before. But I was able to be vulnerable in that setting and really see how much of a godly being I am to be able to, you know, transcend throughout my body. So,
Yes, that was a one. Yes, that was a wonderful experience.
yeah.
I always enjoy activating chakras and activating other chakras. It always just remind me of what it took for me to get here, and so I'm glad you had that experience. And so you said your podcast is about shifting the awareness or shifting the focus to what makes sense and what matters. That's why I'm gathering what In Her Sense is, right?
Right,
Talk
shifting the
about,
narrative.
but so what makes sense to her or what makes sense to him? Because it's called In Her Sense. So can you give my people out there, what is In Her Sense all about? If you can just give us a bio, how you came to, to and fro. I know you wasn't born with a podcast or you wasn't born with
Yeah.
a channel. So can you give my
Um,
people a little bit of your, a little bio?
yeah,
I'll let
no,
you have the floor. I'll
absolutely.
let you have the floor. Get your bio on. Do your thing.
All right, so I was struggling to figure out a name what I wanted to do for my podcast. So I thought about the name In Her Sense because everything that I discuss is
Well,
from
no,
my
no. Before you get to the podcast,
oh
like,
yeah.
no, who is Dehjah Vaughn? Like, how did
Who is
Dehjah Vaughn
Deja?
arrive to even do a podcast in the first place?
Okay, Deja Vaughn is from by way of Oakland, by way of Modesto, Tracy, Northern Virginia, the 757, back to now I'm in Atlanta, Georgia, getting my PhD in political science. So I've kind of moved around in life, and through those experiences, I've been able to see the significance of continuously elevating, continuously growing, continuously being inquisitive on what's the meaning to life because it's ever changing. The more knowledge you know, the more knowledge you grow. So that's how I got here. And I wanted to make a podcast because I feel like, just having dialogues like these, authentically, is very important and significant, especially right now. So I thought it was important to make a podcast and just interview people, get their interpretation of what's going on right now in society, more than just what's on the social media tabloids, but actually what is taking place for Black people, and especially what are taking place for African Americans in America. So
Okay, okay. And so, would you say that the passion for this started as a youth, or is this a new passion? Did you always have an affinity for Black people and the Black cause, or was this ingrained into you from birth, or is it something
yes,
that you knew?
very much so ingrained in me, very intentional, done by my family to be aware of my identity as a Black woman. I went to an HBCU. So even though, HBCU kind of has its pros and cons, I think the intellectual standpoint of what I'm learning and what I have learned from HBCU has helped me as a woman, just like reading certain books like the ISIS papers, getting into people like Dr. Claude Anderson, getting into people like Francis Fanon, like just a multitude of different diaspora African thinkers that are beyond just the surface level of what we know today, and that's promoted.
Okay. And so and so during those travels you said, okay, I'm about to make a podcast, and the podcast is about to shift the awareness to what? Exactly.
Higher level thinking, higher level consciousness.
Ooh.
That's the meaning of it. Everybody has a different sense, but when
Well, I teach high sorcery, and I believe in
yeah.
high vibration, and I believe in all of the things that we're supposed to rise higher and grow higher the more we learn this thing. So,
Mm-hmm.
so your thing is, let's shift the focus to higher thinking and higher vibrations. And so, what is higher thinking and higher vibrations in your sense?
In my sense, it is knowing how significant we are to the planet, like knowing that we are the son of God, right? So the sun is a beautiful source. It produces life. It produces the texture of our skin, and we are melanated carbonated people. Therefore we are the son of God, and we have lost our significance because of the psychological effects of racism and colonialism worldwide, globally, not just on the American level, but across the diaspora, losing our significance and not understanding that we've been here far beyond enslavement. We've been indigenous people to this land. How can we not if there's a sun every day? The sun is the most faithful thing on earth because it shows up every day. You don't have to question it. Now, if we look at the UV radiation, the radiation specifically here in Atlanta is quite lower than certain places, but that's for another topic that we'll get into. But if the sun is outside every day, that means that there has been indigenous melanated people way before what they say that they brought over Africans over to
Yeah, they ain't never bring shit over here. They ain't bring a motherfucking thing over here. Show me one motherfucking slave ship right now. Show me a slave ship right now, and I'll shut the hell up. I'll believe every. Show me the slave ship. 200 million people that have been claimed to go across this trek from Africa to over here, and you're talking about you ain't got one ship, but you got cannons from this war and that war. You got preservative museums for this, preservative museums for that. But when it comes down to hey bro, what's happening one of them slave ships, Brody,
Right.
can I get let's what a slave ship? We can't get no kickback. So that's the one thing that let me know, well, wait a minute. A slave ship named Jesus. Yeah. Ooh, they kicked it right there. That's what the slave ship name is. The slave ship name is Jesus. And y'all don't understand that. You don't understand that the slave ship name is Jesus. But wait a minute. Not just any Jesus. It's specifically where I got a problem with black women. This is why I'm about to have a problem with black women right here. I'm calling
All right,
black
let's get
women
into it.
up to tag. This is why I got, because y'all go to church every Sunday and praise the white boy. Every Sunday, y'all go in the name of Jesus. Amen. Right? And whether it's knowingly,
Right.
whether it's unknowingly,
Right.
you are going into an establishment that is ultimately the very enemy of your family dynamic. Okay? And so I always ask, as a black woman, and knowing this fact that 89% of church parishioners are women, and this is a big, big, big astronomical number. And those 89% of parishioners that go to church that are women, they are knowingly or unknowingly worshiping the white man through the form of the plagiarized version of our African spirituality, and they called it Jesus. Remember, it was called the sun, it was called Ra, and then it got whitewashed and Hispanic washed and Asian washed and Indian washed and all these different washes. So how do you feel about our women, our people, coming from an HBCU? I know you've seen a lot of indoctrinated Negro fellas, and so how do you feel about, that slave ship called Jesus?
Well, I mean, I don't really have a rebuttal for that, but I would say I would even push further that Black women usually typically lead the charge in terms of politically, right? They're usually the forefront of the
So
household.
you're gonna lead the Jesus, you're gonna avoid the Jesus question.
I'm gonna avoid the Jesus question. I'm gonna come back to
all right, wait a minute, y'all. You already know, y'all, she can't handle that hot seat. Why you avoid the Jesus question?
I'm gonna come back to that.
Okay, you gonna come back to it?
I got a point.
Okay, go.
Okay. All right. So Black women, right, lead the charge. This is a beautiful point. Okay. Black women lead the charge in terms of politically, in terms of what the household, who is going to be in the seat, right? That's still appeasing the white man, right? Yes, it is. Politically, it is. Because usually the Black woman usually tells the household who we should vote for, right? You just said that Black women.
You say you playing it safe. My subscribers say you playing it safe. Wait a minute.
Black women usually lead the charge in terms of spirituality, right?
Right.
Still appeasing the white man, right? And as a collective,
but you don't get that. But you don't get literally. All right, you're talking about that political diaspora where we lead the charge in that. But do you know that charge is fueled because think about this. Now we're about to do something I call subconscious common sense. You ready? The things that make sense to our subconscious, not so much as our conscious mind. Our subconscious mind understands in languages of pictures and numbers. All right. So let's analyze this real quick. If 89% of our church women are going and bowing down, submitting and worshiping a plagiarized version of their Black man, right? Literally, Jesus is a complete European creation. The word Jesus, the letter, the whole concept, the structure of the Bible, and everything. Now remember, this is God. This is the being, the entity you say is going to rule your spiritual existence of heaven and hell and how you interact with the world. Okay, and it's so you're going to this church and they got a white supper over here. They got the white supper going on over here. You got over here, you got the white Jesus over here with the white Moses and the white Mary. All right, so let's get this picture. These pictures are set. You go to church so often, you forgot they're there. You forgot they're there. They've been there on the wall so long, gathering dust. You forgot they're there. Now let's add that. Now it's time to go vote. Well, of course I'm gonna go politically and lead the charge and pick the white man because I worship him every Sunday. Which one has the most repetition in your life? The political scheme? No, the political scheme only happens once, twice, or ever so often every year. But what happens? Repetition is the father of learning. So of course you're gonna lead the charge and pick a white man when it comes to politics or media, education, business, military, medicine, or any one of those things because you worship him every Sunday. And then after you worship him every Sunday, you got the nerve to kick the Black man in the balls and say, amen. Ain't that something? So I'm asking you, why are you avoiding that question? Why you don't want, you got some people, if you're not a nigga, you can just be real and be admit like, look, I got people that I might offend, so I'm not going to even fuck with that. You can say that and I respect that as a man and we can move forward.
What was the question?
The question is, how do you feel about Black women leading the charge of worshiping a white man 4 times a month, every Sunday? We ain't talking about Bible study and all the rest of the shit. We just talking about the 4 repetitive times every month. That's 52 weeks in a year. That's 52 times a year. Every Sunday, she go and bow down, pray, cry, and do everything to the white man. So I'm saying, how do you feel about our women who claim that they want a strong Black man, claim that we want blackness this and blackness this and it's Black power this and it's Black power that, but they go every Sunday and contradict that Black power and worship a white man? How do you feel about that? What is your view and your opinion, if there is, what's going on? That is a big staple in me. I'm talking about me speaking as a Black man, how I feel as a Black man of my woman going worship a white man every Sunday.
I mean, I honestly see exactly what you're saying, um the way you broke that down, because it's right. I mean, I can't sit up here and say, no, that's not it. I can't sit up here and be argumentative and combative with you, because you said facts. I mean, and what that is basically some psychological thing that has been conditioned for Black women to do that. And for Black women, especially, not to account or consider Black men's opinions in that aspect. And just the dynamic of what a household is, or just overall being, both the woman is masculine and she is feminine. That's balance. The man is as well. So you need that sort of balance when you're talking about real life things that matter. So something like religion, that matters, that should be conversed with the Black man. I mean, something in terms of medical, that matters, because that's something to my body, and that's something to my womb, which you are entering. So that's something that matters educationally. I mean, hold down the list. It's a thing of psychological uh, aspects that I see and that I know of, because I mean, I've been to the Black church, and last time I checked, I'm a Black woman, so I know this. And so when you made mention of the slave ship named Jesus, and the fact that Black women religiously, no pun intended, attend church on Sunday, and they bow down and they worship, and then they say, um, God is going to be mad with you. God is not mad at me. You are God. So you really mad at me, and you blaming it on God and saying God is mad at me. That's kind of contradicting yourself right now. At the end of the day, we've lost our identity in terms of spirituality, and we don't understand that we are essentially God-like beings. If I can,
The Bible, no. If people read their Bible, they can. The Bible actually tells them that they're God-like beings. On Jesus Himself says it out of His own mouth in John 10:34. Doesn't your book say, "I say that ye are gods"? And He was referring to Psalms 82:6 from the bloodline. Remember, He comes from the bloodline of David. Well, in Psalms 82:6, written by so-called David, David says, "I say ye are gods." Now, what y'all gonna do about that, though? But look what we do. If the kingdom of heaven is within, right? And greater is He that lives in me than he that lives in the world. And I was born in the image and likeness of God. Jesus said I'm God. David said I'm God. Well, how many times the Bible got to repeat, that you are God before you actually start stepping into that role of and so let's talk about that. Why do you think pastors and preachers don't want to talk about these type of verses that are in the Bible right now? If you guys go get it, Psalms 82:6. Psalms 82:6 says that, right? And as well as John 10:34. Yeah, get Psalms 82:6. Psalms 82:6 says that we are gods. And then John 10:34, Jesus reiterates and confirms the statement. I am a big, so first and foremost, everybody, I don't know if anybody know now, but I am an ordained minister. Okay, I am an ordained minister, and I carry the title Reverend. I don't just, and matter of fact, I'm about to start putting my title back on so people can start respecting my Bible theological mastery, because I've read this book from front to back, word for word, countless times, and I have to question: is it the book or is it the people? Because I'm reading where I'm reading right here where it says in plain and simple that I am God.
it's the people.
And Jesus, but Jesus says it out of His own mouth. Remember, check John 10:34. John 10:34. John 10:34, about to reiterate that verse you just read, right? And so David spoke it in Psalms 82:6. Jesus reiterated David in John 10:34. They're both cooperating in line with what Genesis was talking about, made in the image and likeness of God. So, you know, I'm trying to figure out why do they say that we're born sinners when the books say that we are God. You see, these are the things that we have to battle as coming into relationships as Black people. You think you're filthy, a born sinner, not God.
Mm-hmm.
When the very book that you worship says that you are. See, so it's not even the book. In the same book, Hosea 4:6 says we perish because we lack knowledge. Hosea 4:6 says our people perish because we lack knowledge. And quite frankly, I just want to just put that out there to people that when you're talking about let's build as Black people, let's wait a minute, we can't do any of these things if we got spiritual things that's getting in the way, right? Meaning your belief is supposed to be your belief, but wait a minute, a lot of people belief governs their entire life, the way they do business, the way they do everything, right? So if we are subconsciously worshiping the very structure that is meant to harm us, how do you think we are supposed to get out of that as a people? I know we talk about it all the time, but what if you were a scientist, if today was a panel, and you about to get your PhD, now you got your PhD, your shit on the wall, and Vaughn, gangster science PhD, you calling yourself, Dr. Dehjah Vaughn. We're gonna start calling you that right now, speaking that into Dr. Dehjah Vaughn. We're gonna be Dr. Dehjah Vaughn, right? And Dr. Dehjah Vaughn, we need you to come help us get a solution to our world's problems. All the problems in the world. Number one, Dehjah Vaughn, what would you want to tackle? What would you want? If all the problems in the world, if you could solve one, what would it be? And how would you go about doing it if you had all of the world resources at your hand? What would let's see, what you got planned for the world?
I would start with the kids because they are the.
So hold on. So what would you want? All right. So the first thing is, what would you want? The kids what? You said the kids, but like if we was at the America's America's beauty pageant, and they asked them, what's the one thing that you want, right? If you can change the world or you can save the world of this one problem, the world has many problems. Pick a world problem. All right. So the kids, what part of the kids' problem would you want to fix?
Okay, so I would again start with the kids and separate from the school system and make Black schools and requiring specific texts that we would need to have, because I think homeschooling is important. If kids are required,
that's deep.
If kids are required to go to school from K to 12, that's when indoctrination starts.
Somebody know
Third grade, African American males usually lead the charge academically, believe it or not. It's when they get to middle school when their academics start to decline. Then they go into the school, and what it's called is the school to prison pipeline. So then they start just transcending down the pipeline. Now we have some more psychological detriments. Then those people get filtered into the system, whether that's gang related, whether that's going into mass incarceration, or whether that's theft because of that psychological detriment.
Okay,
So
and
starting
so
off,
that's the problem, right?
yes.
And you, as the political scientist, the political science expert, PhD, we about to hire you to solve this problem of, and so you're saying number one, separate the children from these schools, right? So when we separate them from these schools, you have a school. You're going to have a school program, an alternative school program for them to go to.
An alternative school program to go to.
Oh, you want everybody to homeschool their children? What are you saying? You saying take the children, take our kids from out of the schools, and when we take them from out of the schools, we take them out of the schools to homeschool them, or send them to a structured school that you built that is better than today's model of schools.
Structured school that I would build, because just understanding the educational system and who is in the room creating the laws. Like in California, we have the Common Core standards and how that has to align. You have the SBAC and things that have to align to that. It's just different standards. I mean, that's why there are public charter schools, but even that gets very political in terms of where those resources are and things of that nature.
What do you think about, what is your opinion on this agenda? This agenda to over-sexualize and homosexualize our young Black boys.
With
and especially said in Cali, they're trying to pass laws right now that are giving more leniency to pedophiles. And when you look at the news and when you look at the TV shows and when you look at all of the things that are pervading our entertainment consciousness, you see a over representation of Black masculinity parading around through homosexuality. From the rappers wearing dresses and from all of the things being promoted. Hey, whatever you do in your closet, that's your business. But how do you feel about it being mass promoted, like as if it was a burger or a Coca-Cola, frequency or some type of an ad and campaign? How do you feel about the promotion of sexualization? Be it homo or heterosexual, how do you feel about those promotions?
Well, I mean, those promotions were intended for, you have Dr. Francis Cress Wilson has talked about it in 1971 that they were going to do this tactic, and now we're in 2021. So it's not surprising to see the product, the outcome of the problem, and then the outcome that our ancestors and people that have died and perished, that have written in books. That's why books are very important to use and books are very important to read, because you are already hip to the knowledge that they already know. So this also goes back to the psychological thing and why they already strategically started off with children, because they know the power in starting early with psychological things. So if we start early now, these kids, when the baby boomers and everybody else's perishes, and the only people that you have left is the millennials and everybody else that's coming after the millennials, you have all those people. What kind of people you gonna have? If they're already psychologically indoctrinating these kids to think in a certain manner about.
And what about this, and you gotta acknowledge this, there have been reports about the things that they're putting in, the food and the water.
Food. Yeah, food. Yes.
The hormones that they're putting in these meats and that keep growing our young males' breast and giving them estrogen and high amounts of estrogen in their diets. And it's a real chemical warfare. So and somebody, Lord Jamar had told me that it's a population control agenda. How do you feel about the population control agenda?
I see. I think that's so nuanced, because you know what? Yes, I do think in a certain degree. I think that's kind of why they're hiding the sun, and that's why the UV radiation is low in certain areas. Like, you're supposed to get sun. Since when is sun a bad thing? Since when are you not supposed to consume certain amount of sun? If you look at the UV radiation index, it gives a strategic number from like 1.
So you're saying they're trying to block the sun?
Yes.
So you're saying those chemtrails that they're using to block the sun are to block the sun from getting to us, so that we can't get the vitamins and nutrients from the sun? Or
so another depopulation strategy.
Okay, and that's another depopulation strategy.
Yeah.
Okay, and so So you do believe that they're trying to depopulate the earth with these eugenic projects and things of that nature?
Yes, because I would initially I would say no, because there's always going to be melanated people, because there is the sun. But if you're blocking the sun, what happens then? If you're killing them off already, whether it's psychologically, whether it's medically, in that standpoint. But then I will argue, yes. So it's kind of like I said.
So speaking of medically,
Yeah.
speaking of medically, you're going to, you're going to get your PhD in political science and things of that nature. But speak on so everybody, I don't know if you guys know it or not, but Dehjah Vaughn is one of the recipients of the COVID-19 vaccination exemption, the attestation. Speak on that jab, man. They're trying to hit us with the Floyd Money Mayweather jab. We gotta bob and weave that sucker. So, as much as you can without stepping on anybody's toes and things of that nature. You know what I mean? Speak on that. Speak on that Money Mayweather, man.
Yeah, I personally did not want to receive the jab. I didn't. I was so adamant about it. Like, I was not taking a no for an answer. I almost did not come get my PhD because I was that adamant about not getting that jab. Like, seriously. So
get right.
I mean, initially, I was a little apprehensive because of how it started. Like, it was very political. It was very black and white. It was very Democratic versus Republican. If you wear a mask, you're this. If you don't wear a mask, you're that. I mean, it was just a whole type of agenda to my own theory and belief system. And then on top of that, it just didn't seem practical to get it, in my personal opinion. So as a result, I said that it went against my belief system and my religious theories and things of that nature. So
so would they ask you to produce your proof?
They asked me to produce my proof.
And so that's where I come in at with the proof.
Yes, that's where you came out with the proof. And I mean, and if we're going back to the Bible, I mean, there was biblical quotes that I quoted in this religious um, um, belief exemption. And I won't get too deep into what I wrote because you could do your research. I mean, it's plenty of research there. But I will say, if we want to push these agendas, let's push them the right way. Let's push them in the ways in which that will benefit us.
So do you think, do you feel and believe that this jab, this vaccine, this needle point, this heroin needle, do you think what do you think the overall, what do you think they're trying to do? I get on one side, I get people saying, well, they're trying to hit us with the nanotechnology. They're gonna hit your bowel, and then on the other end. On the other end, you got people. They got people that's literally arguing for, like, no, you guys need this vaccine. Where do you fall at in that, in that side? What is your reason behind not trusting this particular shot?
I thought it was way too political for me to get. I thought the way they were pushing it, how they were pushing it, the propaganda that they were using to push it, the fact that they were trying to debunk the Tuskegee syphilis experiment. I saw so much propaganda around this.
Wow.
People
they tried to debunk Tuskegee?
Yes, they did.
God.
Yes, they did. Yes, they did. They try to say that, I don't know who said it. It was on somebody's news station, and I don't want to misquote them, but I definitely saw someone trying to debunk the Tuskegee syphilis experiment. And look, I knew I was going to say that, so I brought the book out. Hold on. I brought the book out. How, Sway? How? This is the book.
What book that is?
This is Bad Blood.
Oh, the Tuskegee experiment. Yeah.
How y'all trying to debunk something that's right here? They were literally and trying to use it as validation on why people should get the vaccine. And then was trying to say if white people are helping us, we should go. So I mean, it's the.
So how do you feel about this statistic right here? The statistic that Black people entering into the American medical industry, and white establishments hold a 7 times more likely risk to die in those establishments. And 500,000 malpractice deaths per year from the American medical industry, and over 60% of those deaths are Black people.
Mhm.
You know, how do you feel about that?
First, uh,
Does it
trying to
make you
bring
want to trust a doctor and go, and go to the hospital whenever you're sick?
no, not at all. You know why? Because I asked my same doctor to help me with a medical exemption letter, and she refused. She told I okay, so okay, now we're getting deep into it. So I hit up my doctor.
Let's go.
All
Let's go.
right. I hit up my doctor, all right, and I asked her. I was like, "Hey, can I get a medical exemption?" And she refused. She told me that my belief systems were inaccurate and that I needed to do more research. So I went and did more research, and I am where I am now because I did my due diligence and I did my research, and I asked another doctor to help me with that. Someone that actually cares about my holistic well-being and is
Hey,
not, is not trying to um
and people started what gives you the right to give somebody religious exemption? I'm like, they must don't know. They must don't know I'm an ordained minister in the cut. I should have put that on yours, but I'm thinking, me just thinking that, oh man, I got that. They ain't gonna be able to, do nothing with that. But I'm glad I'm about to just, I had to I put those credentials on there. And I also, for those who don't know, I also opened me up a church. Yes, I opened up a church.
Yeah.
The name of the church. Y'all want to know the name of the church? Anybody want to know the name of the church? I'm gonna see anyone who want to know the name of the church. Who could get? You can even think. What do you think I would name a church? Dehjah, what would you think the Chopper Doctor would name a church? What do you think I would name a church? Do you think I'll stay? Do you think I'll stay?
I think it would be at least
politically correct, or do
no.
you
You're
think
not
I'll
gonna
be like outlandish with the church? Which one do you think?
I think
Which one do you think I did?
it will probably at least have about 5 words.
Let me see. Damn.
Did it have 5 words?
You got 6 words.
I should have said 6. I was thinking about 6, but I was like, nah. I might
Church
be
of Eat. Somebody said church. Somebody said Church of Eat. Somebody said church. Somebody said Ra. Somebody said Emerald. They're all good. They're all good ones. Close but no cigar. So I opened up a church.
Okay.
I got my ordained. I've been having my ordained ministry going on. I've been Reverend Rance Dunbar, but I always had a way where like, I ain't gonna let Reverend be the catalyst. Let me go do something else. So that's how Chakra Doctor became the trademark and the leader in the brand. But with this, due to the light in this COVID situation and the jab, and I'm trying to get people to bob and weave. Reverend is back on the title, so it's Reverend Rance Dunbar, the Chakra Doctor. That's let's keep that clear, everybody. But the name of the church is Holy Trinity Church of Our Mother. Holy Trinity Church of Our Mother, and it's going to be wonderful. It's going to be a wonderful addition into the religious world, into the religious sector, and it's definitely going to be a favorite catalyst of mine as more people get exempt from this jab. Okay, because definitely, how can you get a medical exempt? Holler at me, just holler at me on the back end, and call my number, call my line at the bottom. So we almost about I almost know you almost about to go. So definitely want to get. So we was talking about great things, So the way it goes is great mind discuss events. Great mind discuss ideas average minds discuss events, and small minds discuss people, right? And so now we're about to go small minded right quick, and with that small mind, we're about to hold on one second. Oh, whoa. Okay. So that was packages coming through. So anyway, everybody been buying Emerald Gold, on the baby registry, our little baby registry, everybody been buying her. So Amazon has been quite visiting. Yes, and it was a wonderful experience. So I'm gonna say a person, and you just give me whatever you give me. First person up, Lil Nas X.
Shit.
Shit. What it is? What it do?
Like agent. I'll just say agent.
Lil Nas X, agent. God damn, agent. He's an agent. We're gonna go to R. Kelly. What we doing? That's what we doing.
Oh man! Wow!
And you give me, and we get them blind reacts like that. 90s. I say the name, 90s. You get the blind react.
90s. I'll say 90s.
90s?
I'll say 90s.
He was cutting up hard in the 90s.
I'll stick with 90s.
Oh, everybody. She had to stay politically correct. Why you had to stay politically correct with R. Kelly? What's going on? Please defend.
Politically correct with R. Kelly? How?
Yeah, you said 90s, but I'm saying what? R. Kelly. That's the 90s. That's what you sticking to that?
Yeah, I think in 90s.
Okay, bet. I think of Aaliyah.
You said think of Aaliyah?
Yeah, I think of Aaliyah. Getting 15-year-old, getting married to her. I think of the human trafficking in the cloud of sexual deviance that had. Whoa! Look at that! The universe go blown in my favor. The universe go blown. Okay, and I think about the cloud of sexual travesties that have been following this man his whole career, man. As a man, I think of how could we let this go on for so long? Have you ever experienced any sexual misdeviance upon yourself or any type of traumatic experiences?
With that, no.
Nobody never tried to rape you or anything like that, or nobody ever tried to get down on you.
No.
You're one of the fortunate. Congratulations, man. It's a crazy world, and they got a lot of women out here.
Very much so, crazy world.
Yeah, they got a lot of women out here that are being transgressed upon, man. 17 million women go missing every year. 79% of them are Black. God.
Yeah, and that goes back to a lot of things that happen to our bodies medically, and the fact that they're organ harvesting, the fact that melanin on the black market is
we got somebody in the. What's your thoughts on Professor? Somebody asked you what's your thoughts on Professor Griff? Keeping it small minded. We talking about people. What's your thoughts on Professor Griff?
I haven't really investigated too much in his story, but I know that he was doing some I guess some sexual relations with his girlfriend's daughter or something like that.
You're talking about Polite. You talking about Polite.
Okay, I don't know who Professor.
What's your thoughts on old Nick Cannon?
Thoughts on Nick Cannon procreating with that many women?
No, Nick Cannon. The Wild 'N Out.
Yeah, procreating with that many women. He has like 7 kids, right?
Nah, I don't think Nick Cannon has 7 children. No, Nick Cannon is the guy from Wild. Nick Cannon is the guy from Wild 'N Out that had the kid with Mariah Carey.
He got a lot of kids.
I thought he only had like 4 kids, and 2 of them was twins for Mariah Carey or something like that.
Nah, he got
7. Golly,
he might have I don't know.
No, we just checked. We just checked. He got 7 for real. Damn.
Yeah.
So what do you think about? What do you think about? You know, men who procreated, have a lot of kids with multiple, different women whom they aren't, having relations with, out of wedlock. How do you feel about that? Do you feel that there's a certain type of level of man that can afford, and therefore that lifestyle, so therefore it's his privilege, or do you feel it should be structured? If a man is going to do that, he should have enough man in him to make it work with all of the women, or How do you feel about monogamy versus polygamy?
Well, I mean, I understand polygamy if it's done the right way, if it's structured, like in terms of the Black birth rate and the population. Black men do need to procreate with a lot more Black women, so I can understand polygamy at that standpoint. If they are Black, I'm being biased because I can't. So I would say if he's procreating with multiple Black women, I mean that may help our population in a sense, if it's structured in that way.
That's a nice analogy. That's a nice analysis. Wow. That's a politically scientific way to look at things too.
Yeah.
Yeah. That's what's up. All right. So one more. We're going. What do you think about what's going on with Kanye West?
I listened to like the first few songs and I was unimpressed, and I did not listen again.
Bro, that shit was. Everybody's saying that the Kanye West album is trash.
Maybe I need to listen to it again. What's your thoughts?
So far, I'm only in love with one song so far. First song.
Yeah, it's
Jail.
You like Jail?
That's it.
I'm going to jail tonight?
That man, he tell you the truth on that. He said he honest, he a liar. See? He said he honest and he a liar. That's him and Jay-Z on that. They both went hard right there on that one. But other than that, 27 tracks. You was supposed to knock out with socks off.
I was expecting something better.
I was expecting something like, man, the way that ritual he did, and like he did the ritual with the all red on, with the Donda, like he got Donda on the beginning chanting his mama name, Donda, like this shit, like this shit, you thinking this shit about to go off, and that hit you with that jail, you like, ooh, jail, yeah, shit, yeah, that jail going hard, and the next thing you know, next song is just like, what is this? Right. Why?
I don't know who like he sat down with in terms of production, but usually Kanye's production skills are A1. Like in my opinion, like on his albums, I didn't hear no type of My Twisted Dark Fantasy Kanye, no Graduation Kanye, just none of that. It's just like it's a totally different way.
I don't know, man. If you gotta say, oh, I gotta listen to it again, maybe it'll grow on me. It's a whack album.
No, it was not.
It's hey man, it is clearly evident, Kanye. You need to get your mama back and have that hunger again, and before I guess you need to get that hunger back, bro. I think Kim took a lot of fire out of you, Kanye, bro. Kim took and she gonna get balling, and you stay bright, girl. And when they get on, they leave your ass all white, girl. Get down, boy. Go ahead, get down. So, most definitely. Most definitely, she. Look at y'all. She in the hot seat. She's so nervous, y'all. I'm sorry. I told you this though. I told you this.
Yeah, you did.
I told you this though. You can't say I didn't tell you this. And this is just normal talk in my world. Like this is how I normally just talk. This is just how I ask my people. This is just how I normally talk. And she's just thinking like, oh my God, I hope this dude don't ask me about the Iran controversy. This is like
Iran.
Nah, I'm just playing. I'm playing. But yeah, so hold on. We got a little bit. I got one more question. All right, I got one more question for y'all. And you put your time in. We're gonna get one more person.
Yeah, let's hear another question. Keep them coming. I like these questions. It's all right.
Okay.
I'm holding my own.
Okay. You ready? Here we go. Yeah. We staying petty right now. We going with the people. Is there anybody who you want to name? Oh, Dr. Umar.
Oh, Dr. Umar. Okay, I've actually went to Dr. Umar's conference. I've listened to some of his stuff, listened to some of his podcasts. I think he definitely he makes valid opinions, has valid statements. So, am I like a Umar stan? No, I'm not. I don't stand for anybody, but I do think some of his opinions are definitely on point.
But what about you feel? What about all the scams he pulled out on black folk, man? What's going on with
The
that, man? How do you
schools
feel
with the
about that?
school with the school.
Well, the school that never got built in 10 years and still ain't never got built, and everybody money gone, but everybody donated, but ain't nobody even got a shack. Nigga ain't got a shack. Nigga ain't got a house makeshift into a school, and he he is going around still asking for money.
Mm-hmm.
How do you feel about our black men just going around parading asking for money, but they ain't producing no substance in the field?
Well, I mean, from what I've seen them on live with the school, but I do think.
What school? No, that little abandoned building.
Yeah.
No, that ain't his school. No, that's the front of it. They exposed that already. That's what I'm trying to tell you.
He's been inside though, right?
Yeah, he's been inside, but that's not his school. That was just a stage prop to get money, GoFundMe money, and money for the school, for the so-called school that never existed. So everybody finding that out, everybody found it out, got the deeds to the place, and people do the investigation, and that's $750,000, $850,000 you decipher from the people, almost $1 million you decipher from black people's hands, promising us a school that you've never built, and it's been a decade. You don't got shit from Putin about going on with the school. So how do you feel about black men that's robbing our people blind through the guises of consciousness, and the black woman is God, and the brother Polites of the world, he being arrested for the so-called black woman is God. You arrested for assaulting the goddamn girl, black child. Umar, you done been in scandal with black women, and you've been in scandal with transgender rumors, and when you look at Pharaoh, how he just kicked his young black woman out and gone off on black women, and all of these guys are supposed to be champions for our race, on YouTube and things of that nature, and the curtains are coming down, and everybody's like, what the hell is going on with this so-called conscious community? Speak on it.
Well, I would then say, have those people then been approached by white people to change?
Have they? So a lot of people
I mean, in order to
they're going through their humiliation ritual. Everybody saying that they're going through their humiliation ritual. In order to levels.
In order to reach that certain threshold, what you got to do? What you gonna do? What you gonna do for it?
Hey,
what you gonna sacrifice? So
we talk. We know Brother Polite been doing the scam with the Bitcoin scam and the sovereignty scam, and getting all of this money and all of these donations out of black people, but they don't have no physical structures or systems built that black people can benefit off of, except for a screenshot from a phone that we don't know who from what or how or where or why. So the question, the question remains, what are we to do when we got such vermin at our gates keeping?
Mm-hmm. And that's something that is so complex and trying to figure it out, because I mean, how can you answer that question?
A lot of them. So on this channel, we've been discovering a lot of them have a common denominator. We're about to see if you're a part of that common denominator, right? And are you in a sorority or secret society? Do you belong to a sorority or secret society?
No, I don't.
Okay. Well, one of the common things amongst all of the brethren is that they belong to some type of secret society organization or some type of sorority or fraternity. We've done the math and the homework. And do you know that every major person that owns the billion-dollar fields, from the Facebook owner to the owner of FedEx to the Walmart children to Tyler Perry to Denzel Washington to Steve Harvey to all of the top black people, they are a part of a fraternity. Do you think it's a coincidence that all of these rich and famous black, white, Hispanic, and Asian people that are in top prominent fields of leadership and influence in the black community, do you think it's a coincidence that all of them just so happen to be coincidentally in the same fraternities and sororities that mingle and Greek with each other?
Do I? You said, do I think there is a coincidence?
Do you think it's just a coincidence, or do you think it's a conspiracy? It's bigger than what we know, man. That all of our top leading black people, all right, just these 5 black people alone, right? You got Michael B. Jordan, you got Tyler Perry,
Michael B. Jordan. What is it? Kappa?
Omega Psi Phi. All of these are in the same fraternity. Omega Psi Phi. Denzel Washington, Michael B. Jordan. Yeah, you know, when you talk about all of these black men, Steve Harvey, you know, we talk about all of these black men that belong to these fraternities, these sororities, and all of these white men that belong to their relative brethren or sister organizations. And they're running our political fields. They're running our media, education, business, our military, banking, religion, the black market, and the stock market. They are rampant at the top upper echelons of all of these markets. How do you feel about the fraternity, sorority conspiracy to dominate and globalize us normal Joe Blow, you know, blue collar people and sheep us along? You know, how do you feel? Do you think it's just a coincidence that all of these fraternities and sororities are running the world essentially, you know, or do you think that it's something deeper?
I could see why you would say that, but I do know people in fraternities and sororities that are not running the world.
No, I'm not talking.
Are you specifically talking about?
I'm specifically doing an equation evaluation.
Okay.
And it says that 85% of the top people that run the top 10 fields that govern our life: politics, media, education, business, military, medicine, banking, religion, black market, and the stock market. Is it a coincidence that all of these millionaires and billionaires belong to the same fraternal order and soror orders? Or is it a deeper conspiracy? Do you think that nature has provided a way that these particular fraternities and these particular sororities with these particular people and strategically placed them in all of the areas that rule our lives? Or do you think it's a more nefarious complex going on, and that sororities and fraternities got something bigger going on right in front of our face? Speak
on it. You mentioned something in there that I agree with, and it's not the second point; it's the first point. The point where it's not a coincidence that they all are in that same organization. I believe in order for you to reach a certain threshold, you have to do or get in a certain organization in order to appeal and adhere to whatever thing they're trying to promote.
For a minute, I thought you were with the Illuminati or something.
Oh, okay.
Yeah, I went on your Instagram, and I was like, man, she got this. She in the little pose with the little checkerboard garb on. Is she a sorceress? Is she a witch? Is she a part of the occult?
Occult? No, I am a part of a singing fraternity that I crossed in 2019.
Hold up.
That count?
Hold up. A part of a singing what?
A singing fraternity.
Boom, boom, boom. Wait a minute.
A singing
What is
fraternity.
the name of your fraternity?
Sigma Alpha Iota Music Fraternity. Mm-hmm.
The plot thickens.
It sure does. Let's sticking it up then.
All right. So you guys are musical magicians? Do you guys?
But I am not an active member right now because that was in undergrad.
Okay. You're not an active member right now. So what's the difference between an active member and an inactive member?
An active member pays dues to whatever chapter that they are in.
Oh, you're not paying dues. Oh yeah, you ain't paying dues. You ain't putting your money in that.
I'm not in a chapter. I'm not in an alumni chapter. I still just say that I crossed the Mu Beta chapter at Virginia State University. And that was that.
Hey, bro, because I see the little checkerboard. I'm like, oh yeah, she went to school. I see she look. We know. So we in Freemasonry, in Magick, that black and white spectrum, that black and white checkerboard, that is the representation of the eternal tug of war between dualities. And so we know that every chessboard has a dark side and a light side. And when you're talking about Freemasonry, the black and white checkerboard is a representative of duality as well as the square.
That checkerboard dress that you saw was from H&M, if that's what you're talking about. You talking about?
Yeah, I know it was from. I'm talking about the
connotation of what it means.
Yeah, the connotation of what it means. Would hey, I'm a master sorcerer.
Honestly, that is a very deep analysis of what I just went to the store to grab a dress. It was Juneteenth, and I wanted to look nice, and I put that on. And we talking about I'm a sorcery. I ain't no sorcery. I ain't get the jab. I ain't get no jab. So I ain't part of no club. I ain't pay no dues. Okay, everybody in the comments. All right, I mean, if I was really a part of the society, I would have got jabbed, and I would have been on here, talking my shit about the damn jab, but I'm not. So
okay. So I'm gonna blame it. I'm gonna blame it on subconscious common sense. I'm gonna blame it on because you've been politically correct.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Absolutely. So we know for a fact. We know for a fact.
That's out of my own selfish intent, not because somebody told me to.
No. I'm talking about, your answers have been very, very neutral.
Absolutely.
Yeah. Yeah. That's why they saying that in the comments like that. That's why, why you just ain't airing it? Why you just ain't being real? Why you just ain't seeing what it is? You ain't got to lie, Craig. You ain't got to lie. That's how they coming. But I understand. I understand I understand that you got a PhD, man. Where you going to get your PhD, and you don't want nobody hating on you, misinterpreting your words, paraphrasing you, having you, doing things that I understand. I just, I assume that maybe she an Eastern Star, something with Illuminati, but no, we know your fraternity, the singing magicians. I don't know. Yes, look, y'all told y'all better know the language. Y'all better know the language. I teach my audience the language. I teach my audience the body language of sorcery and occultism, and so it's just wonderful. It's wonderful for them to see it in real time, right, and let it play out in real time. So I thank you. I know I kept you on longer than an hour. I'm sorry if I. No, you good. I'm good. All right. So please let everybody know. Whoa.
Wait, hold on. Okay, what do you mean by sorcery? Invite me into this world so I can understand, so I could be conscious
Okay.
on the level that you conscious, so I could be aware. Let's see.
Okay. So all right. So I don't know if you know it or not, but a big part of my brand is promoting and educating, especially Black people, into the knowledge, hidden wisdom of what one might call magic, witchcraft, sorcery, the like, and the such. Not no David Copperfield illusions and stuff, but actual orthodox, intentional practicing of word spells and actual intentions of the invisible world manifesting health, wealth, abundance, life, longevity, protection, healing, so on and so forth, through the intentional practicing of what one might call sorcery, magic, or witchcraft. Um, I have a school. I have a school where I teach a lot of students, and they all from my business partner, Dr. Gandhi. My business partner, Dr. Gandhi. The reason why he invested $150,000 into my brand is because I did money magic for him, and that money magic netted him a lot of money. And so this is how a multi-millionaire from Mumbai, India, became my business partner. I built this whole brand. I let everybody know. That's the reason why the powers that be can't stop me. That's the reason why every vaccination letter I write, they're going to acknowledge, because they know that I come from the language of high sorcery, magic, and witchcraft, what one might call the esoteric or hidden knowledges. I teach it plain as day on my channel as well as my brand. So it's a big, big, big arm in my brand. And so I teach my students, all of my followers and everything, the language, the body language of magic. And one of the main body language and vehicles of magic is fraternities and sororities. All right, and secret societies and certain organizations that practice secret society, hidden esoteric capabilities and knowledges. They're right in front of our face. They're your next door neighbor. They are your friend. They are your mama, your daddy, your sister, your brother. It is one big. It is the one big secret that has been hidden from humanity and hidden from the American people to the highest degree. Your top politicians practice it. Your top, people in the medical field practice it. Your top movie people practice it. And it's magic and sorcery. And so I teach people the language of magic and sorcery. Me being a high sorcerer, we believe high sorcery is not using physical effects to accomplish spiritual means. Even though we may use physical effects to represent our progression or our goal, our intent to accomplish those physical means, we do not rely on physical effects to accomplish spiritual means. We rely on our spiritual effects to affect the spirit world so drastically that it manipulates and moves the physical world as we see fit and please. And so this is what we're here to learn as goddesses and gods. This is what we're here to learn as human beings. This is what we're here to learn as people in these spiritual beings in these temporary vessels. And I teach this to people every day. So yoga, me inventing my own yoga and activating the chakras, that is the power and the source to all of the sorcery and magic I teach. And the magic and sorcery I teach is a very unorthodox magic and sorcery in that it's mainly word mixed with computer algorithm, as well as, it doesn't shun any ideology or thought wave, meaning you can find every verbiage and script in it, from Christianity all the way to paganism, all the way to, you name the spiritual walk, you name the theology, whatever. We incorporate word. In the beginning, there was the word, and the word was God, and the word was with God. It's called Microsoft Word for a reason. And so we understand that our words are our gods. And when we use a specific word play, then this holographic matrix and this internet system that you call the cyberverse or the cyber world will acknowledge your word for the algorithmic value that it holds. So this is how they're able to predict. This is how they're able to market to you, because they already know what you like through what you search for. what you text about, and all of these create a rhythm in your sequence, and that rhythm in your sequence is recognized by the overall rhythm of the overall algorithm of the what you like to call the machine, the beast, the computer. All right, and once you develop a certain algorithm of magic and sorcery, it puts you sets you apart aside from other algorithms because most people don't know shit from pudding about magic and sorcery. And now the same things that the same thing that would have took you 5, 6, 7, 8, 9, 10 months to do are only taking you 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8 weeks to do. The same avenues that you thought were closed begin to open, and the same people who said you couldn't do it riding your dick. It is a complete activation of your dormant light codes, aka your junk DNA within your system through commanding them with word. And so that's the magic and the sorcery.
I do think there is something deep to talk about in that experience. I don't know if you have more time, but I do want to address something. In terms of my experience with the fraternity and sorority aspect, I think going initially to college, it was especially when you're going there initially, you're kind of at a docile state where you don't know these kind of things. You're not aware of the actual significance and the ritual standpoints because you are not at your awakening and peak. And I think that's something that could be changed and can be changed in terms of my perspective. And I think people have the right to say that they went through that experience or were considering going through that experience and now understand the deeper meaning of what that actually looks like, to your point of what you just said. So I don't want to walk away from this standpoint here and not address the fact that what you just said is very accurate in terms of the politicians that practice rituals and are some of the leading chargings of some of the kidnappings and human trafficking that has taken place, especially in the Caribbean islands. So I do want to, say that.
Well, I always remember on this show right here, the number one thing. So, and I teach people the difference between magic and sorcery. Sorcery, number one, most sorcerers and most people who practice sorcery, it was already in them. It was born in them. Their parent was passing it down to them when they were younger. They seen it at an early age and they adapted to it quickly. And magic is like breathing to them. But sorcery is the ability to use magic to actually defend, protect yourself, and even harm an individual who may be trying to harm you. So when you're talking about magic, you're talking about the ability to influence the supernatural world with your intent. When you're talking about sorcery, you're talking about your natural inability to influence the supernatural world without any intent. You could, man, some people are so magical, they can just think it and stuff start happening. They wonder how that happened because it's just in you, right? It probably happened to you, man. I want some ice cream. Somebody just walk past you like, hey, man, you want this ice cream, right? It's just the magic is just in you. That's called, the beginnings of sorcery. So if somebody probably done you wrong, you like, motherfucker, and next thing you know, motherfucker got a flat tire or they got their arm broke or something. That's you're talking sorcery. Sorcery is the ability, to make Kobe Bryant helicopter crash. Sorcery is the ability, to make DMX overdose on crack. Sorcery is the ability to make, Shock G, Black Rob, and all the other rappers, die from tragic circumstances due to negative spell castings and things of that nature. So when you're talking about, but sorcery is also the ability to destroy every human trafficker, pedophile, rapist, racist, Satanist, or necrophilia. It goes both ways. It's not the gun; it's the person that's using the gun. So they got those people who use sorcery to harm innocent life. Number one, black children, black women, and black men, and other ethnicity children, women and men, but black first. This is why they call it black magic. They use black melanin, black blood, black adrenochrome, and everything. And that's why they make you drink blood at the communion and symbolically drink blood and symbolically eat flesh. This is a satanic ritual that they do at communion every one Sunday out the month in church. So we just have to get privy to the fact that the things that you see on the movies may be real, and trillionaires not paying billionaires to pay millionaire puppets to sing and dance and do these fancy movies for you because it's not true. And so, so that's what I always just teach people and show people that it's in plain sight. All you got to do, seeking ye shall find, knocking the door shall be open, asking it shall be given unto thee. But yeah, I make 5 figures a month because of Magick and Social, and it's still climbing. My goal is to make 7 figures a month perpetually, and just keep it pushing. $1 million a month, and I'm good. I ain't tripping.
That's true.
And it all come from y'all check it out too. Check me out, call me, hit the website, get y'all money magic, and that money magic turns your life up, y'all. And I've been doing this shit for a while now, and so that's why I thought, hey, maybe you were, in that fraternity, in that sorority, in that area. She dancing, she singing, she shaking the job, and she got to do. Wait a minute, is she protecting the status quo? But I understand where you're coming from, and the fact that your professionalism and the things that the alignments that you got to keep when you're doing certain connections in the field. It's just that I built my name. I built my name off of hurting people's feelings. I built my name off of telling, saying the taboo thing. I built my name off of telling truth to power. I built my name off of magically warring with the Freemasons and the so-called powers that be in the Illuminati. So I could talk about them fuck boys and fuck niggas like they ain't nothing. They ain't nothing but some rainbow booty boy pedophile faggot ass niggas. See, I can say that, and my channel is going to be straight. Why? Because in the end, I'm a high magician. I'm a high sorcerer, and I can speak on the truth and I can speak on the facts because I've invoked my rights to divine natural law and universal law. So I just tell people this. I teach this to people. This is why I was able to have a free birth, and my child ain't got no birth certificate. My child ain't got no social security number. And I'm the one that baptized her. I'm the one that doing everything. You see, and this is how we begin to take control of our lives as men. And I tell men all the time, if you want to win black women back, if you want to win the black family back, if you want to win the black empire back, black men, you got to stop being men and you got to become God again. Because that's the only thing that's going to correct this situation. If the men and the women become gods and goddesses again and start changing their awareness like you're in her sense do, you know what I mean? So tell me about that right there. What did it take for you to, change and shift your perspective from, the before and after? I know there's a before where, where all of this stuff was just like, didn't mean nothing, but now it means something to you in your life. Tell me, what was that? How hard is it to change and be positive and be conscious and truly do it and do it well? How hard is it in your world?
It's very hard. I mean, it's an ever going process. I mean, I'm still in the process now of understanding the higher meaning and the deeper significance. I mean, even to the points of which you're making right now. I don't want to act like, I'm not in agreement, because I am. It's just what you're saying right now is registering, and it's making a lot of sense. So I would say I'm definitely still in the process of getting to fully in her sense and being strong and have a deeper conviction about being in her sense and staying by what her sense is, because at the end of the day, it's my sense. And in that way, she is forever learning, and she's always open to absorbing new information to elevate her.
And so we getting a little deeper into the topic of conversation. What is, in your opinion, what do black women need to change to be better wives, girlfriends, and mates? And what do black men need to change to be better husbands, fathers, and boyfriends and things of that nature?
I think for this, I would speak on my analysis of seeing my mother and my father and the dysfunctionalities with that relationship and what that looked like, and growing up in a single parent household where obviously, statistically speaking, it was my mother that was my primary caretaker. I would
Okay.
say on I would say on the end of the Black women, I would say to actually listen to the Black man and consider his thoughts and opinions. Number one, be more gentle with his feelings. He already has to. I know that's the cliche statement of he's already enduring a lot in the world, but
Right.
that's a real thing. I mean, you have a target on your back all the time. There's always negative connotations wherever you go. And you always have to feel as though you have to uphold to a certain standard. So why come home to an environment where it's toxic and it's chaotic? I don't feel comfortable in my home, and I don't feel comfortable outside of my home. How can I coexist in the setting? The only way that I can coexist in the setting is to drink and to not be faithful, because I need an outlet, because there's no other outlet that I have. So on the Black woman standpoint, I
Right.
would say again, communication,
Right.
nurturing, patience. Like, you don't have to be combative. It's no need. I mean, we had a whole discussion, and you called Black women out. And I'm a Black woman, and I had to sit here and put my ego aside and say, is that true about Black women? Is that really what it is? And yeah, it is. So that's another thing. Black women also have to take accountability to where we are as Black people in America, because it's not all the Black man's responsibility. It's not his fault. It's a collective effort, because it's 50-50. It's both man and it's both woman.
Okay.
On the other hand, I would say that Black men need to be a little bit more vulnerable and open with Black women. And I don't mean that to look or be expressed in the ways that Black women express their vulnerability. Men have a distinctive way of how they express themselves and how they communicate. I'm not saying that it needs to look identical to a woman, because it does not.
Yeah, I am. No, I
You know
believe.
what I mean? Because people
I
always
believe. No, I believe that men. I believe that men. Um, I always tell men that they need to be better communicators of their feelings when it comes to women, because women understand on an emotional level first. And so a man who is able to tap into his feelings and articulate his feelings in a proper context, will do way more balance and way more justice, to the union, than a person who is always holding it in, bottling it in, not knowing how to express it, expressing it in the wrong way, letting it playing out in different types of ways, right?
Mhm.
So definitely, Black people in general, first and foremost, Black people in general, first and foremost, we need to communicate way more on a better level. Number
And
one, parents and children. Like the parents and the
yeah,
children, we don't have good communication, and it starts in at home. So we just need better communication overall. Yes.
and that's why practicing, and we got to give you your credit here, Chakra, practicing those techniques that were on the podcast that you went over with tapping into those seven chakras. Do that with your mate, so that you all learn
Right.
breathing strategies on how to cope with some of the anger that you have. Create that sacred space together, so that you're able to meditate together, so that you're able to be on the same frequency together. Eat healthy together, exercise together, have
Right.
strong emotional intelligence in the feminine way and the masculine. I would never, ever, ever sit up here and say that men need to express their emotions. Hell the fuck no. Sorry, I don't want you expressing your emotions like me, because that's not how you are designed. Just like I'm not designed to be cussing you out and using vulgar language to talk to you. That's me being in my masculine energy. And what that does is that make you feel like you're less of a man. So I'm not going to do that because that's crossing a boundary that's just innately supposed to be designed in sex.
Right, right. And so, I get a lot of people, I get a lot of people who are talking about, the Kevin Samuels of the world, and the guy with the Jacksons, what his name, Steven Jackson, whatever his name was, of the world, and these from out of nowhere, black relationship advisors and counselors and
Yeah.
things of these and things of that nature. How do you all of the women are the women got two different sides to the Kevin Samuels thing. What is your side of the Kevin Samuels thing? How do you feel about his content, and do you think he's really on black women's side trying to help them, or do you think he's getting clout from off of the black woman's plight? Is he exploiting black women to get views, or is he truly genuinely trying to help black women and black men?
I watched Kevin Samuels lives way before, like kind of in the beginning of when he was kind of blowing up. And initially I was like, okay, I'm going to actually, excuse me, consider his opinion. Maybe, maybe what he's saying, maybe there's some validity to what he's saying. But then I saw a trend with what the women looked like, who was going on there, and the type of mindset that specific women had. Just very not
Who he
taking.
was so basically who he was allowing on the show.
Yes, who he was
Like
allowing on the
who
show
he was allowing
and
to
the
show
type of
their
questions
face
that
on
he
his
was
platform.
asking. Yes, the type of questions that he was asking. It was continuously lack of accountability by the woman, lack of accountability by the woman, lack of accountability.
Right.
So that right there was already destined to be argumentative because it's already going to be combative.
Juice No Chaser said that boy's a rainbow booty boy.
And
and so that's what people saying. People are saying that, hey, how can he speak on black heterosexual black relationships when there's evidence of his, of him having suspect nature as a homosexual male.
Yes, and then when the darker complexion women got in there, it was just, and then the fact that you're rating women, making sounds for women, just certain noises,
basically roasting black
women. Roasting them,
yeah,
and saying that's why you ain't got a man. That's why you ain't got a man. You
that's why black women. That's why the modern women. That's why the modern woman is going to die alone. And
yes, you want this kind of.
He reminds me of the other guy. What do you think about the other guy?
What other guy?
Tommy Sotomayor. He be going off on the black women too. Yeah, Tommy Sotomayor. He's this black Republican or black. I don't know what is.
I'm gonna look him up.
Yeah, Tommy Sotomayor. He but he always speaking on. He always roasting black women. He's always roasting black women, and he's always calling black women to task. Like, yo, it's your fault, and he's always had, like, if you are a protector, maintainer, sustainer, provider, and a champion of women, he has a real problem with that. I see when it comes to Tommy Sotomayor, but he reminds me of the Uncle Ruckus type of black person. You know what I mean? Where he, where he say shit like, that's why I don't fuck with black people. Quote. That's why black people ain't gonna get nowhere, and somebody said, a Sin 13 said, I can't put up with them. Nah, man, because it reminds you of this Bojangle initiation, man. I call it the Bojangle initiation, where you do these certain disrespectful things and throw your race under the bus, and we're gonna make sure the endorsements and the and and the YouTube sponsorships and all of this gonna float your way. We're gonna make sure you had 1 million. We're gonna make sure you had 1 million views. And he's a part of a fraternity. He's a part of a fraternity. Hey, you can't make this shit up. Get it, baby. Yeah. Tell him go. He is a part of a fraternity. Told you, I mentioned it. He's a part of a fraternity. So that's the one thing that I always know. That's the one thing I always notice when it comes to how they structure their attack.
Oh yeah, I forgot. What's his name is a part of a fraternity. What's his name? Samuels.
Yeah, he's a part of a fraternity. Yeah, he's a part of a fraternity. Hold on, wait a minute. Tommy Sotomayor is a part of a fraternity.
Oh, he is. I still don't know who this guy is. I tried to look.
Tommy Soto Soto Mayor, like Mayor, Sotomayor. Sotomayor. And you go look him up, and he's in a fraternity as well. Martin Luther King was in a fraternity as well. Malcolm X was a part of a fraternity as well. Louis Farrakhan fraternity. Omega Psi Phi. That's Louis Farrakhan. Yeah. I'm just putting all these pieces of the puzzle together, and all of our leading Black prominent leaders were a part of fraternities and sororities. Do you think it's a coincidence that our ancestors, the ones who we celebrate, the deaths who we celebrate every year, the people we get streets named after, the people that marched us out of Black Wall Street and into the pie eating contest of the economic value structure of Europeans, right? Marched that black dollar out of the community.
Okay. Good point.
Marched our black dollar out of the community with our so-called strategic reverends, strategic pastors, strategic ministers, strategic leaders that they allowed on their media. Marched our black dollar out of the community, and now those guys are celebrated. The death of those guys are so-called celebrated, and all of these guys I just named, the ones who we celebrate the most, from the Marcus Garveys of the world, they were all part of fraternities and secret societies, and all you got to do is Google it. It's so easy. All you got to do is Google it, people.
Yeah, no, you're right.
Martin Luther King fraternity, Malcolm X fraternity, Louis Farrakhan fraternity. You go on, and the list goes on. Baba Dick Gregory fraternity. Nigga, the only one that went in the fraternity was Dr. Sabi.
And he said, and they were trying to make it seem as though his findings were wrong.
I'm living proof that his findings are right.
They try so hard.
They called me Dr. Sabi #2 in LA. I remember I opened my business. I started my business in California. I was on Hollywood. I was the guy on Hollywood Boulevard. I was the guy on the Hollywood Walk of Fame with playing big old loudspeaker, practicing magic in open Los Angeles, talking about the great grand holy mother and death to all human traffickers, pedophiles, rapists, racists, and Satanists, going in front of all the Freemasonic lodges, doing lives, going viral in front of all the Freemasonic, denouncing all the Freemasonic lodges, challenging them all to magical duels. I won't let my big magic take little magic. Let's see who's gonna win. Yeah, I was wrecking shit up, and I've been going to war with these human traffickers, pedophiles, rapists, racists, Satanists, and necrophiliacs, and I teach people about how they move, how they roll, and yeah, man, it has been a blessing to be in this position to single-handedly, bring this type of sorcery, this type of knowledge, this type of level of vibration, this high level of vibration back into the game, so that people who want to can take advantage of it.
Yeah, that's true. It's needed. It was like a cleanse to hear this conversation and be on this level of frequency.
Yeah, somebody said you listen to them, they're low-key narcissistic and don't do what Chakra Doctor is doing. And it specifically reminds me of the Brother Polite video. This dude is in the back of a Rolls Royce with Dolce & Gabbana on. This dude's, wait a minute, but he started off talking against these very brands that he's glorifying now. You got to remember how these people built their name. They built their name on saying and acting and representing a character that is supposed to be a champion for Black people. And they come with fancy intellectual words. They come with these intellectual masturbations. Oh my God, they can talk about the substance of the molecules going around to the black substance of the melanin and the carbon 1213 and the pockets of the particle. And they can talk all this fancy shit and take donations and ask for these handouts here and ask for these handouts here, regurgitate information after information, build no structures, and we're still at the fucking start line. We ain't the Gundam blue, and we still haven't even started the race because we got Black gatekeepers that's keeping us stagnant with these different distractions. And we keep on falling for the same hook, line, and sinker trick. We fell for it in the 60s and the 50s. We're falling for it now again with these and so these Black distractors that are distracting us from our chakras, distracting us from, because remember, spiritual practices was going to get it done. But if you constantly worrying about Dr. Umar versus Pharaoh,
yeah, like come on now, what type? I mean, why are you basing your whole existence off of
a person?
That's some low vibrational shit. I mean, why do you care that much about somebody else? I could care less. I go to sleep.
And me and my people, shout out to Dwayne McClain. Shout out to Dwayne McClain TV. He gonna be out here. He gonna be on in a minute. We're gonna do it. We're gonna be doing another live in a little while. And me and Dwayne McClain, we're gonna be busting open some more magical boxes for everybody. But and guess what? These guys, these so-called conscious guys, they're all a part of this interconnected group of guys who are just piggybacking off of our energy, right? Misleading us through, misleading us through truth. What they say is truthful. I never say it wasn't. That's what they get you with. They get you with the truthful, but it's supposed to be a self-actualization and a physical fruit from that truth that lets you know that they're actually walking the truth that they're saying and not just talking a particular truth, sounding truthful. And so we're not calling our Black leaders to task. I asked somebody, I said, if YouTube was to cut off tomorrow, who would these guys be? How would they be? What would they have done to advance the Black race forward? In the terms of that really count. The number one thing that counts is health. Our health is our wealth. If we live long enough, we could build long enough. But we got to live long enough. How many people helping us build structures that are going to create generational wealth for our seeds and saying, here, man, this is what I got. This is what I can contribute. This is what I can contribute. But we all fighting each other. So it just seems like it remind me of WWE wrestling.
Right. Do you think that that irregardless of difference in opinion that we can all come together as a collective? Or do you think that everyone has to be on the same frequency for us to come together as one collective?
So in the world of duality, there will always be two sides to the spectrum. And the reason being, if you look at nature right now, when I look at a tree's roots is in darkness under the ground, holding it down, solidifying it to the ground, while the trees and the leaves and the bark bask in the light, right? And gives out the fruit. But if you notice, when you're talking about duality in this world, I personally think it wasn't meant for everybody to come together and get along, right? I think that at this stage and level of growth where we're at, it'll be a detriment for everybody to come together and get along, because then we'll just get stuck in that dynamic without any differences of spectrum to rise higher, right? I feel like once you get to a certain level of spiritual consciousness, then we'll be able to all come together and get along. But I don't think that'll happen in this dimension. Like I tell you before, I'm a real nerd, brainiac type of guy, and everybody keeps telling you the earth is about to go through a major shift and transformation. And Just like a snake that sheds its skin, so can planets shed their auric field or their skin as well. Because I teach in my school that planets are living, breathing, feeling, thinking gods and goddesses. Suns are living, breathing, feeling, thinking celestial gods and goddesses. And these are the major bodies that governs our energy. The earth literally governs your life. Without the earth, we ain't existing no more. We just out of there. Without the sun, we ain't existing no more. We just out of there. Right? So these are the two major factors that are governing our life, but we don't pay attention to them at all.
Right.
And we don't learn from them at all.
We wake up in the morning. Again, we wake up in the morning and we don't even acknowledge the sun. But it's there every day.
Every day.
Every day. Consistent. That doesn't miss a beat.
Doesn't miss a beat. Sunshine says salute, Dehjah. And so that's what it's all, to me, in my world, that's what it's all about. It's all about being able to reconnect with nature. Yes. Reconnect, because nature is the perfect template. Nature is the perfect template for how we're going to actually live. When I ask people, right? I ask people one thing, right? The one thing I ask people, I always ask people, if the sun can manifest into a person and come do a YouTube live with you, how would you feel? What would you say? Right? I tell people, they say you're always entertaining angels unaware. And this is very, 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 very much true. The world we live in is called the world of 2% visible light and 98% of what's to be seen. We cannot see it with our naked eye. I'm a big nerd when it comes to numbers. You can't tell me that 98% of what's to be seen, I can't see it with my naked eye, but I'm going to rely on my naked eye for what's to be seen. Right. You can't tell me that. That's not going to register in my right brain, left brain complex. Is going to go to cognitive dissonance all the way. I can't understand that. Right? If I can't see 98% with my naked eye, I can't see 98% with my naked eye. Well, how can I see that 98%? Oh, you close your eyes. They got people who have seen the greatest of things with their eyes closed, right? And we have a mind and imagination where we can bring about anything. So I always just, how do you feel about the law of attraction and being able to conjure something up in your mind and it's just a thought and you turn it into an actual physical structure?
How do I feel about that? I mean, I feel that it is possible because I've made it possible. I am a big stickler with like words. So I personally, how I manifest, is that what you were speaking of in terms of manifestation? Okay. So in terms of my own personal manifestation, I write it down and I put it underneath my bed and I don't come back to it until about 3 to 6 months or even longer. And I'm like, damn. I did everything on that list and it never fails. Everything that I wrote down, I'm doing right now. I think ahead in terms of my future, where I want to go. I plan accordingly. I plan for 3 years to 5 years of where I want to be at, because I know that I have a God within me. I am God, therefore I can manifest what I want. Of course, there's going to be obstacles, but those are the obstacles that I cannot control. I can only control what is around me and what I am capable of doing. So therefore, there's no reason for me to say I cannot when I can, because
when you and when did you think you came to such a revelation?
Well, I probably after I graduated undergrad in 2019 and had some time with the pandemic to sit and do some deep reflection and inner healing that I needed to do to get to where I'm at right now. But even then, when I was towards the latter part of graduation, I was still manifesting things even in my darkness. But that's kind of where it started at in that time frame.
Okay, so you're definitely, fresh into the game, into the race.
Yeah, for sure, very fresh in the game.
So So before you got to that level, you know, what was your program belief system? Was it, you know, Jesus, Allah, Buddha, Krishna, you know?
Oh, I mean, I tried it all. Like I luckily we had a teacher at Virginia State who brought in all of the African religions / spiritualities groups so that we could get a perspective of who the Nation of Islam were, who the Hebrew Israelites, Christian Baptists, who else? The Yoruba. So many different religions, and I kind of got the idea and feel of who I felt mostly connected
Hold on,
to.
and you just did that on your own, or somebody was helping you do that, or like?
No, this was a class. This was a class.
Oh, okay, it was a class.
Yeah,
Okay.
we had. So, where we read and different things like that. I never really got immersed into the Nation of Islam, but I did like some of their belief systems, but it still did not feel like I was connecting to my higher being until, damn, when did that happen? I don't know.
You gotta go back. You gotta go back in.
I was like,
man.
Yeah, when did I start thinking like, I don't know. I just start questioning certain things and thinking of things. I think when I start tapping into my chakras is when I started realizing the actual significance of my own spirituality that I can develop inward rather than outwardly trying to figure out who can help me with that. If that makes sense. So I was more so searching for someone to help me inwardly when I can help me inwardly.
Right. That's your job. Inside
That's
is your
job. Ain't nobody else's job but me.
Inside,
you know, searching forever. You know, shit.
Inside and out, man. Hey,
yeah.
So, it's definitely everybody's job.
That in itself was like, and honestly, the pandemic was a beautiful time for this creation to happen because I was able to hone in with me and be reflective and intentional.
So would you say the pandemic was like a blessing in disguise for you?
For sure. Because I was with myself more so than anything. I was working from home. I had to be with myself. I had to think, okay, what is next for me? How am I going to get out of this? What could I do to create a safe place for me, being though I'm inside 24/7? So with that, I had to find my own godly being. I had to really be, again, back to this word, being intentional about the way I perceive things. Because it wasn't where it needed to be. Reading more as well. Certain things like that.
Well, I'm a big fan of reading as well. I'm a big fan of reading and being able to read and having a decent vocabulary so that you can have a pool of words to access to express yourself properly. I'm a big fan of taking speech classes, speech lessons, getting yourself polished for and groomed for communication, because that will be your greatest ally and weapon in your quest for success. Your ability to communicate your brand, you, because they're not buying a brand, they're buying you. And so I will always, encourage everybody to get better reading skills, improve your reading skills, improve your recital skills, being able to remember and recite certain scripts and certain measurements, right? When it comes to what you want to say and what you want for yourself in life in the form of affirmations and affirmativeness. And so when it comes, I was taught to read at a, early age, and I was always the guy that just loved to read. That's one of my favorite things to do. If it's not, but my first favorite thing to do is write. Now I love writing, and that's the one thing. So what are your hobby? What is your hobby lobby? You like to read, write, what is the normal Joe Blow plain Jane things you do while you're doing your little time in this little human body on the prison
Okay.
planet?
I have fun. You know, I play video games. What else do I do?
What kind of video games you play?
I play NBA 2K. I play a little Call of Duty. I'm getting back in the swing of things with that. I do it to just, you know, travel somewhere right quick and come on back. Definitely like to read. I'm building my little library right now. I used to do like a lot of nature stuff in California, so it's going to be a little bit different now that I'm on the East Coast. So I'm trying to probably get acclimated with that. What else do I do? Definitely writing, poetry, doing a little rapping here and there in my spare time. Things of that nature probably is probably it. Yeah.
That. So thank you, man. We done went in.
We did.
We could keep on. We could keep on going, but I know everybody got things to go, and we about to move into the next segment with your boy, Dwayne McClain TV, in about 30 minutes. You know what I mean? Me and Dwayne McClain TV about to come in there. So please hold on, but tell us your IG. You know, tell us your IG. Tell us where to find you. Tell us, your podcast. Do your thing right. Do your thing real quick. You feel me?
All right. Everyone, hey, thank y'all for so much for tuning in. I appreciate everybody for tapping in with me, leaving some feedback. It was great to hear from y'all. Y'all can catch me on Instagram. My personal Instagram is authentically Dehjah. I'll put that in the chat. And then my Instagram for my podcast is In Her Sense. I'm going to drop it in the chat. And
drop it in the chat so everybody can get drop it in the chat. Everybody can get that. You feel me? And yeah, man, we can definitely get it popping, man. So in about 30 minutes. Oh, wait a minute. Let me see if I can. Let me see. Can I pull a 2-in-1? Can I put a 2-in? Can I put a 2-in-1 in condoms? Let me see if Dwayne ready. Like right now, on this joint. Let me see something right quick. Let me see.
all right,
yeah, I see. We see you right there. Boom, put it on. You ready? I bet. Whatever you want. I bet. That, ladies and gentlemen, was Dehjah Vaughn, IG In Her Sense. Thanks y'all for tapping in. Mr. McClain. Yeah, me and Mr. McClain gonna be here in about 30 minutes. In about 30 minutes, Mr. McClain gonna be in here. And so y'all definitely want to come back for that. We about to do about an hour or two. And we about to expose the Rainbow Booty Boy Coalition. You already know. About to expose that Rainbow Booty Boy Coalition. You feel me? Most definitely. That was a wonderful talk. She had this. She was bobbing and weaving and she was skating. You hear me? She was. What y'all thought about it? What y'all thought of? What did my crew? What did my people think of Miss Dehjah Vaughn? Is she with the shits or not? Please put your comments in the comment section. I'm gonna put them on the screen. We're gonna talk about this real quick. Do you think that she was with it or not? Do you think that she was genuinely innocent and I'm just not? Nah, she cool. Much love. Juice No Chaser said not. Juice No Chaser said nah, she cool. On God said he rocking with her. Oh, that's two. That's two right there. On God said he rocking with her. Juice No Chaser say she cool people. Feel me? She cool people. She stayed politically correct, you know, got to go to school and HBCUs and things of that nature, but she still was able to, you know, amen some shit. I think she is learning like the rest of us. All right, all right, all right. I think she is real and she is learning like the rest of us, says Purple Rain 84. Okay, Old Soul New Gen said his soul return today. Happy birthday, Old Soul New Gen. It said, I don't think she was with the shits. I think she just learning just like everybody else. Okay. We all just learning. She legit very intelligent. All right, so my people have, you know, my people are speaking. My family is speaking in this joint. And so that was a wonderful talk. That was a wonderful. Ooh, my wife is. Hey, y'all. If y'all don't know, my wife is a Swiss Army knife. Listen, listen, y'all. My wife is a Swiss Army knife. That lady be doing all my. That lady do all my lining, my hair, my. I mean, she do everything, and she did it every. I'm talking about she did it all the way up until the last day of pregnancy. For the full like 9 months, she go hard. She go. I'm just looking at her. She just built something in the background, and it got me. And it got me like, God damn, she is fucking Rambo. I always wished I was great with my, you know, like building stuff. Like, I like, you know how they got them people that can build a fucking house from scratch or some shit, or can fucking make jewelry, and you know they real good with their hands. They can fucking knit some shit in your hair and fucking line some shit. They fucking real crafty and they can draw. Like, she know how to do all that shit. Everything I just named. She know how to draw, do all that. She know how to cut hair, do fucking hair, fucking draw, motherfucking make jewelry, fucking knit clothes, make clothes from scratch, motherfucking nigga write books, like just all that fucking shit. It's crazy. Please, crazy. Yeah, man. So yeah, she cool. Feel like she getting to being high. So word. So unanimous decision, and the people have spoken. The people have spoken that in her sense ain't with the shits. I wonder what Dwayne McClain would have to say. Would Dwayne McClain say she was with the shits? We gonna find out, man. Me and Dwayne about to come in here and we about to expose. And y'all before we get off, salute to wifey, yes, salute to wifey, yeah, my baby say, hey, yeah, interesting interview, LOL, yeah, man, I do interesting interviews, and I tell them before they come on here, yo, I'll be running my mouth with the truth, and I don't care who I offend with the truth. We're gonna talk about all the shit that you might be scared to talk about on your channel and your podcast, and when you come on this podcast, you yeah, wifey is the GOAT. For real. She a Capricorn for real. The GOAT. She a GOAT for real. No, real shit. Yeah, she the GOAT for real though. That fucking free bird nigga just went like in. She went in. Then like, I'ma roll your boat gently down the stream. Merrily, push the kid out. Bring. Boom, and then she shaking back like a 4.5 hard. She should. You too, Emerald Gold. You already know. You already know, man. They on deck. They on deck. They are on deck, bro. Like I can't even imagine what Emerald Gold about to do. Man, I can't even imagine what this grown ass child is about to do. Like the first day she was born, she was laughing in her dreams. She was listen. It's one thing to dream and to laugh in your sleep. It's another thing to dream and laugh in your sleep the first couple hours out of the womb, being born, nigga. I ain't never seen that. I told you, soon as she was born, she fucked me up for life. Hold on, saw right through it and put it out there. I see she came for a reason. Definitely has handler and Somebody said Dehjah Vaughn has a handler. Most High's light spirit over flesh said he saw right through it and put it out there. I see she came for reason and definitely has handler, and I stand behind that. Ooh, we have a difference of opinion in the building. What they say, the angels be playing with them when they mad. Listen, bro. Go look it up, man. Children ain't supposed to be laughing and dreaming the first hour out of the fucking womb, bro. Let's get that shit clear. Okay? Your first hour out of the motherfucking womb, you laugh. Yeah, that nigga was having, nigga. In baby land, nigga. First day out, nigga. What the fuck? No, women go. Don't blow our mind like that. Yeah, man. She's so grown, man. She ain't number 17 days old. She's so grown. I could just, like I told you before, man. I could just only imagine them damn pandemic babies. Whew. Them damn pandemic babies, boy. My goodness. Oh, my baby, my damn pandemic baby. Look at that baby. Oh, that baby. Oh, she doing up that love game. Oh, hey, my baby. There she go. Uh-oh, look, she telling, boy, you better hold me the right way. I'm about to get on before I get spit on and kick it with Emma, me and Dwayne McClain about to get it in like Flint. You feel me? That's because she ain't get the vax. Oh, that's because she ain't get the vax. Well, she got one of these from me, so she didn't get the vax because she used one of my vaccination exemption letters to whatchamacallit, to beat the vaccine. So that's why she didn't get the vax. So hey, man, the majority rule. They got one person in the group. Say she's sus, while the rest say she just trying to learn like us. Until next time, we're going to let them keep on bringing these people up in the group, and we're going to see how far this conspiracy goes next time on the Rainbow Booty Boy Coalition. Let me stop. But I'm going to check y'all in a minute. I'll talk to y'all in a few minutes. Peace.